All right, so get this. India is jumping headfirst into the future of money
Oh, yeah.
with Central Bank Digital Currencies, CBDCs.
Yeah, I've heard about those.
Essentially, it's like digital cash,
Mm-hmm.
issued and backed by the government.
Sounds pretty official.
Oh, it is, but with a blockchain twist.
Ah, gotta love some blockchain.
And they partnered up with Radix for this.
Oh, wow, Radix, that's interesting. They're known for their security and all that.
Yeah, security and scalability,
Yeah.
it's a pretty big deal.
Makes sense. You gotta make sure things are solid when you're talking about a whole country's money, huh?
Exactly. We don't want any digital rupee mishaps.
Nope, definitely not.
But here's the thing. India's not alone in this.
Oh, really?
Over 134 countries are exploring CBDCs right now.
Wow, that's a lot. So it's like a global thing?
Yeah, it's like a worldwide financial tech race.
I can see why, that there's a lot of potential there, right?
Tons of potential.
Like, what kinds of problems are they looking to solve with these CBDCs?
Well, think about reaching people without bank accounts, for one.
Oh, yeah, financial inclusion, that's huge.
It's huge. And then there's the cost of managing physical cash.
Yeah, all those bills and coins, gotta be expensive.
Not to mention security risks.
Right, fraud, theft, all that.
The CBDCs could offer solutions to all those problems.
Makes you wonder why we didn't do this sooner, huh?
Well, the tech's got to catch up first, right?
Very true.
But now we've got this super interesting partnership with Radix. So what sets them apart in all this?
While India's not just issuing a digital rupee,
No.
they're creating this whole ecosystem around it.
Ooh, tell me more.
So there's the DCWallet,
DCWallet.
built on the Radix network, designed to be super user-friendly.
Okay, so that's like the face of India's CBDC.
You got it.
And Radix is like the engine behind it.
Exactly. Powerful engine, super secure, built to handle a whole national currency.
Okay, I'm sold on the concept, but now I got to know more about this Radix.
All right, let's dive in.
What makes it so special?
Well, first off, it can handle massive scale.
That's important for a whole country's money.
Essential.
So how does it do that?
Well, they use something called the Cerberus consensus algorithm.
The Cerberus. Sounds intense.
It is. Basically, it's like a super efficient traffic cop, you know?
Okay, keeping things flowing smoothly.
Yeah, preventing fraud, making sure every transaction is accurate and fast.
And it can handle the volume.
Yeah, built for it. Plus, it's energy efficient, which is always good.
I'm picturing the Cerberus with, like, 3 heads fiercely guarding these rupees.
Yeah. Fierce protection, for sure.
But consensus algorithm, break that down for me.
Sure, so think of it like voting.
Okay.
But instead of people, it's computers using math to reach an agreement.
So they all have to agree on what's valid.
Exactly, to prevent fraud and keep everything running smoothly.
So like a super secure digital voting system for money?
You got it.
Makes sense.
And all happening behind the scenes of the DC wallet.
That's right, the DC wallet. I want to dig into that more.
Let's do it.
What are they highlighting in the white paper?
Oh, it's packed with interesting stuff.
Like what?
Well, for India specifically, they're talking about closed-loop wallet solutions.
Closed loop.
Yeah, it's basically a digital wallet, but for a specific purpose.
So like a wallet just for education expenses.
Exactly.
Or for agriculture, like farmers.
Yeah, you could even have government assistance going directly to those wallets.
And that money can only be used for, say, seeds or fertilizer.
Exactly. Targeted spending.
That's really smart. Make sure the money's used how it's intended.
Yep. And it can be a game changer for financial inclusion, too.
Right, because India has a lot of people without bank accounts.
Millions.
So how does DC Wallet address that?
Well, they want to integrate it with existing banks, but also make it accessible even without a traditional account.
So no bank account, no problem.
That's the goal.
That's huge for financial inclusion.
Huge. They're focusing on last-mile connectivity.
Last mile, what's that?
It's about reaching those who are furthest from traditional financial services.
Makes sense.
But there's also another thing,
What's that?
offline functionality.
Offline, like no internet.
Yep. Even without internet access, you can still make transactions using DC Wallet.
Wait, how?
It's a pretty cool combo of SMS messages and one-time passwords for verification.
So it's like the transaction gets stored and then synced later when you have internet.
Exactly. Bridging the digital divide.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got this user-friendly wallet built on this super secure network, accessible offline. But what about the actual experience?
Oh, they've thought of that too.
Because I don't want to wait ages for a transaction to go through.
Oh, no waiting here.
So how fast are we talking?
Radix is known for its speed. Transactions on the network finalize in under 5 seconds. often even faster.
5 seconds.
Wow.
That's incredible.
It is pretty impressive.
But speed can't compromise security, right?
Absolutely not.
So what are they doing to keep those digital rupees safe?
Multiple layers of protection, including something called quantum-ready encryption.
Quantum ready. Is that even a thing?
Oh, it is. Designed to be secure even against future threats from, the super powerful quantum computers.
It's like they're building a financial fortress for the digital age.
Pretty much. Unbreakable.
That's reassuring. But, with government-backed digital currency, there are always concerns about control.
Yeah, I get that. Oversight and all that.
So how does DCWallet address those concerns?
Good question. The white paper does emphasize transparency and accountability.
Okay, good.
But remember, CBDCs are still pretty new.
True.
So the details of how privacy and control will be managed, well, those will likely evolve as the system is implemented,
Makes sense. It's a learning process for everyone.
Definitely.
But let's focus on what we do know about DCWallet.
Okay.
What features stand out to you? What makes it unique?
For me, the multi-wallet support is pretty cool.
Multi-wallet. What's that?
You can manage multiple wallets for different purposes, all within one interface.
Oh, I see, like different compartments for different needs.
Exactly. One for spending, one for saving, you name it.
That is convenient.
And what if you want to convert between different assets?
Like, say I want to switch some crypto into digital rupees.
You got it. DCWallet has built-in features for that. Seamless conversion, minimal fees.
So it's like a one-stop shop for all your financial needs.
Exactly. Simple, smooth, user-friendly.
Okay, I'm loving this, but how does all this actually impact, a regular person's life?
Think about it. It simplifies your financial life.
How so?
Faster payments, more secure transactions, and it opens up opportunities for millions who haven't had access before.
It's not just digitizing the rupee, it's like digitizing possibilities.
You said it.
But remember, it's all built on Radix.
Right, and Radix is designed for interoperability.
What does that mean for someone using the wallet?
Well, it means DCWallet can interact seamlessly with other blockchain networks and financial systems.
So it's not just about changing how money works within India.
Nope.
It's about connecting India to the global financial system in a more efficient and accessible way.
Precisely. It's a big deal, this partnership. It could reshape not just India's financial landscape, but how we think about money on a global scale.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here, from the rise of CBDCs to the nitty-gritty of Radix and DCWallet.
Yep, we've been busy.
But there's so much more to explore, especially the implications of this partnership for India and the wider world.
Yeah, we've only just scratched the surface.
So much more to uncover.
It's pretty amazing how this is tackling so much of India's financial system,
It really is, and it's not just about the digital rupee itself,
Well,
right?
It's like reimagining the whole thing.
And we've talked about the benefits for India, the inclusion, the efficiency, even that offline thing.
Yeah, that's a game changer for sure.
But zoom out for me. How could this reshape things globally?
Things get really interesting there.
Oh.
A more efficient, more inclusive system in India, the world's biggest country, population-wise,
Right, over 1 billion people.
it could have ripple effects everywhere, especially for other developing economies.
So India's like a trendsetter here,
Yeah, in a way.
leading the way for others to follow.
Exactly. Their success with this could inspire other countries to try similar things.
Like a global domino effect.
Yeah, domino effect of financial innovation.
I like it, but let's bring it back to India for a second.
Sure.
We've talked about the good stuff, but what about the potential downsides?
Well, no system is perfect, right?
True enough.
One challenge is getting everyone on board, especially people who aren't comfortable with technology.
Yeah, some people are attached to their cash.
I get it. It's familiar.
So how do you bridge that gap?
Education, awareness campaigns, showing people how it works, the benefits.
So they can see how it can actually help them.
Exactly. It's about building trust.
Makes sense. What about technical challenges? Any vulnerabilities they need to think about?
Well, security is a big one.
Of course, it's a big target, right?
Huge target. You need serious protection against cyber attacks, outages, all of that.
You don't want a whole country's financial system to go down because of a bug.
Exactly. Can't have that.
And what about data privacy? People are concerned about that.
Oh, yeah. That's a valid concern for sure.
How do they address that?
Transparency is key. Clear regulations. People need to know their data is being handled responsibly.
So it's a balancing act.
Absolutely. Innovation and progress, but you have to address those concerns about security, privacy, and control.
It's all connected.
It is. And remember, launching DCWallet, this is just the start.
The beginning of the journey.
Exactly. The system will need to adapt, evolve, as we learn more, you know?
It's a process, not a one-time thing.
Right. And speaking of, remember those closed-loop wallets we talked about?
Yeah, those were interesting.
I'm curious to see how they'd work in real life.
Me too. Any specific examples from the white paper?
Oh, yeah. They had some interesting scenarios.
Like what?
Okay. Imagine the government wants to help students from low-income families.
Mm-hmm.
They could give them scholarships, but directly to their DC wallets,
So,
with the rule that the money can only be used for tuition, books, educational stuff.
that's really smart. It makes sure the money is used for its purpose.
Exactly, and it goes straight to the student. No middleman.
Cuts down on potential problems for sure.
Right. It's about transparency, efficiency, and targeted support.
I like it. What other examples did they have?
They mentioned agriculture, healthcare, even disaster relief.
So it's not just everyday spending. It's a whole new way of thinking about aid and resources.
A more efficient system overall.
Okay, I'm sold on the concept, but is this thing actually easy to use?
That's what they're going for.
Because if it's too complicated, no one's going to bother,
I agree. They're emphasizing user-friendliness, accessible for everyone.
regardless of tech skills.
Exactly.
So what are they doing to make it intuitive?
Well, for one, that multi-wallet support we talked about.
Right, the different compartments.
Yeah, so you can manage everything in one place.
Simplifies things for sure.
And the payment process itself, they want to make it just like using a card or a mobile app.
So familiar, easy to pick up.
Exactly. They're going to support things like NFC, QR codes. Those are popular in India already.
So you can just tap your phone to pay.
Yep, just like you do now with other payment systems.
Makes sense. And what about when you're offline?
That's where the offline functionality comes in.
Right, because not everyone has constant internet access.
Especially in rural areas.
So how does it work?
It's a clever combo of SMS messages and those one-time passwords.
So even without internet, you can still make secure transactions.
Exactly. Pretty impressive.
It is. They've really thought of everything.
It seems that way.
But what about security? How do they protect against hackers and fraud?
Security is top priority.
Good.
Multiple layers of protection, starting with the Radix network itself.
Which is already pretty secure, right?
Oh, yeah, but they're adding quantum-ready encryption, biometric authentication, real-time fraud monitoring, the whole works.
Quantum-ready encryption.
Yeah, it's like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It's like they're building a fortress around your money.
Pretty much no one's getting through that.
Okay, I'm feeling good about the security, but what about privacy? That's a big one.
Absolutely, and the developers are taking it seriously.
Good.
They're using Radix's privacy-focused design.
So my data is only shared when it needs to be.
Right, only with authorized parties, for specific purposes.
No funny business.
Transparency and user control are key. You decide who gets access to your information.
Okay, that's good to hear, because data privacy is a big deal these days.
It is, and with DC Wallet, you're in control.
I like that, but let's think about businesses for a second.
Okay.
How could this change the way they operate?
Oh, the possibilities are huge.
Bigger than just streamlining government programs.
Oh, yeah. Imagine a small business, maybe in a village. They can now accept digital payments from anyone.
Even people without bank accounts.
Exactly. Or think about manufacturers. They can use smart contracts to automate payments, make things more efficient.
So it's not just about big companies.
Not at all. It's about leveling the playing field, giving everyone access to the same tools.
I like that. Everyone gets a chance.
And it's not just domestic transactions either.
Right, because DC Wallet is built for interoperability.
Exactly. Connect with systems around the world, opens up international trade, remittances, all sorts of things.
So it's not just changing India, it's connecting India to the world.
Yeah, and that's where AFC comes in.
The government company.
Right, they're integrating DC Wallet with banks, both in India and internationally.
So they're building the bridges to the global financial system.
They are. It's about creating a more interconnected world.
I like it, but surely there are challenges with all of this.
Oh, of course, no easy feat.
Like what?
Well, regulations are a big one.
Makes sense. Different countries, different rules.
Exactly, you got to make sure everything's compliant.
So navigating that regulatory maze,
And building trust with international partners.
people need to know their money is safe.
Absolutely, especially when sending it across borders.
So another balancing act.
Yeah, innovation and trust, hand in hand.
And the technical side, that can't be easy either.
Oh, it's a complex beast, making sure everything works together smoothly.
Though it's a constant process of learning and adapting.
It is, but the potential payoff is huge.
Like what?
Imagine sending money across borders as easy as sending a text message.
That would be incredible.
It would change everything.
And it seems like India, with Radix and DC Wallet, is taking a big step in that direction.
They are, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Right, back to reality.
So let's remind our listener what we've learned so far.
Okay, key takeaways from this deep dive. What are the must-knows?
First, India is going all in on this. It's a bold move.
Not just a little experiment.
They're serious, and they've partnered with Radix, the best of the best in blockchain.
Security, scalability, speed, the whole package.
And they're not just thinking about tech, they're thinking about people.
DC Wallet, user-friendly, accessible offline, reaching everyone.
And they're taking security and privacy seriously, protecting data and funds.
No compromises there.
And they're not limiting themselves to India. This is about global connectivity.
So it's about innovation, inclusion, and connecting to the world.
It's about giving everyone a chance to participate in the digital economy.
I like that. A chance for everyone.
But this is just the beginning, right?
Oh yeah, we've only scratched the surface.
What other possibilities can you imagine with all this?
That's a great question, and I'm sure there are people out there thinking the same thing.
What does the future hold? Exciting to think about.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat. Give me some mind-blowing future applications.
Well, we talked about closed-loop wallets for social programs.
Right, those are pretty cool.
But what if we take that further? Imagine every government program, every subsidy, all running through programmable money.
Wow, everything's streamlined, efficient, reaching the right people.
Exactly. No more waste, no more delays.
And it goes beyond government, right?
Oh, yeah. Businesses could use this for loyalty programs, incentives, all sorts of creative things.
It's like we're on the verge of a whole new world of finance.
We are. Money itself becomes a tool for good, for empowerment.
It's a powerful idea.
It is, and it's all thanks to technology, visionary thinking, and people who want to make a difference.
Well said, but let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
There's one more thing I want to explore.
What's that?
Digital identity, DC Wallet, and the future of how we manage our identities online.
Digital identity, a fascinating and complex topic.
It is. It feels futuristic, but also a little scary.
I know what you mean.
So how does DC Wallet approach it? How do they find that balance between convenience and control?
That's the key question, isn't it?
All right, so digital identity is one of those things that sounds futuristic and kind of unsettling at the same time.
Yeah, I get that.
Like, it could be awesome for streamlining things and making them more secure,
Yeah.
but also, who wants to be constantly tracked?
Nobody wants to feel like they're living in a surveillance state, right?
Exactly. So how does DC Wallet handle digital identity in a way that balances those needs, the convenience and the privacy?
Well, they're using the Radix network's built-in identity features, which are designed with those things in mind.
Okay, so privacy and security are built in from the start.
Yeah, so think of it like a secure digital vault for your important identity documents.
Like a digital version of that folder we all have with our passport and stuff.
Exactly, but way more secure.
I'm intrigued. So what kinds of things could I store in this digital vault?
Oh, all the important stuff. Driver's license, passport, voter ID, educational certificates, medical records, you name it.
Wow, so it's like a one-stop shop for all my important documents.
Yeah. And the best part is it's all digital.
Okay, I can see the appeal of having everything organized and digital, but what's the real advantage here?
Think about all the times you have to prove your identity.
Oh, I hate that. Filling out forms, waiting in lines, it's a pain.
With the DC Wallet, you can do all of that digitally, securely, instantly.
Okay, now you're talking my language. So no more photocopying documents or dealing with bureaucracy.
Streamlined and efficient.
I like it. But how do I know my information is actually safe in this digital vault?
That's where the blockchain technology comes in.
Okay, because blockchain is all about security, right?
Exactly. Your identity data is stored on an immutable ledger.
Immutable meaning?
It can't be changed or tampered with.
Oh, so it's basically hacker-proof.
Pretty much. And you control the access, granting permission only when you need to.
So I'm in control of my own data.
You got it. It's like having Fort Knox level security, but you're the one holding the keys.
Okay, that sounds pretty secure, but I have to ask, what about the potential for misuse?
That's a fair question.
Couldn't the system be used to track people or deny them access to services?
It's definitely something to be mindful of, and that's why the developers are emphasizing transparency and user control.
So there are safeguards in place.
Yes, but it's also important for governments and regulators to establish clear rules and guidelines.
Makes sense. We need to make sure that technology is being used responsibly and ethically.
Absolutely. It's a powerful tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or bad.
So it's about making sure it empowers individuals, not controls them.
Exactly. It's an ongoing conversation and collaboration to ensure we're using this technology in a way that benefits everyone.
Well said. Okay, so we've talked about the security and the potential concerns, but let's get back to the practical stuff. How could DC Wallet change the way we interact with money on a daily basis?
One area with huge potential is micropayments.
Micropayments meaning.
Tiny transactions, fractions of a rupee.
Okay, and why is that a big deal?
Because transactions on Radix are so fast and cheap, these micropayments become feasible.
So I could use it to tip content creators online or pay for small services.
Exactly. It opens up a whole new world of possibilities for creators, small businesses, even for microlending within communities.
So it's like bringing the concept of a tip jar into the digital world.
Exactly. And it could revolutionize things like subscription services, too.
Oh, how so?
Imagine paying for only the content you consume per minute, per article, you name it.
So no more monthly subscriptions for things I barely use.
More control, more flexibility, support for the creators you actually value.
That's amazing. But it's not just about individuals, right? Businesses could use this too.
Oh, absolutely. They could create flexible pricing models, offer pay-as-you-go services, even reward employees for small contributions.
It's like we're taking a microscope to our financial lives, getting more granular with how we spend and earn.
Exactly. More control, more possibilities.
Okay, this is blowing my mind. But with all this talk about digital wallets and micropayments, I have to ask, what about banks?
Are they going extinct?
Yeah, are we headed towards a world without banks?
It's a big question, and the answer is probably somewhere in between.
Okay, so not a simple yes or no.
Right, because CBDCs and wallets like DC Wallet could definitely disrupt traditional banking.
Especially when it comes to payments and money transfers.
Yeah, if I can send money directly to you using DC Wallet, why do I need a bank in the middle?
Good point. And DC Wallet can do other things banks do, right?
Yeah, things like escrow payments, automated savings, even microlending.
So it's not necessarily about replacing banks entirely,
Yeah,
but about giving people more options.
more options, more control over their financial lives.
And banks are probably not just going to sit back and watch all this happen, right?
No, they're adapting too. Many banks are exploring ways to integrate CBDCs and digital wallets into their services.
So it's more of a collaboration and evolution.
Exactly. Both systems are going to change and influence each other.
It's a brave new world of finance, and it's exciting to be a part of it.
Definitely. So much potential for innovation and positive change.
Well, folks, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into India's CBDC adventure with Radix and DC Wallet. We've explored the technology, the features, the potential benefits and the challenges, but most importantly, we've explored the possibilities.
It's been a fascinating journey, and I'm excited to see what the future holds.
I'm with you on that. But before we sign off, I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder. What other creative and innovative applications of CBDCs can you envision beyond what we've discussed today?
The possibilities are truly endless, and it's up to all of us to imagine and build the future we want to see.
So keep dreaming, keep innovating, and keep exploring the amazing world of emerging technologies. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay tuned for more deep dives.